Hi, friends. I was just reaching for my chapstick. So I first of all apologize if you registered for the um, earlier training. I ran into a bit of a technical issue, which I did the last time too. So it should not be my excuse every time. But today it's my excuse, and hopefully it will be the last time that will happen. I am finally figuring out how this works. So it took me a while, but I appreciate you being patient with me. And also patient with me because I have a little cold. So I may be taking sips of my tea as we talk about the Healthy Easy Meal Plan Challenge. This is our second day and really your key to time freedom. Because let's face it, if you want to eat healthy, you have to pay a lot for a food service like a grocery subscription or a meal plan service that already sends you the recipes and the food in the box, and those can cost a lot of money. And what I'm here to tell you is that with this framework, the 3 Ps that we've been talking about today during this Healthy Meal Plan Challenge, is that you don't have to spend a lot of money in order to eat healthy, in order to create healthy habits in your family. And I pushed my finger back a little bit too far. And being able to reach those goals that you want to without the stress and overwhelm. Okay, so it is possible. And as a mother of 4 and someone who runs her own business from home and a whole bunch of other things along with just life going on right now, I'm here to tell you that it's possible. So let me start by sharing my screen, and we will talk about this meal plan challenge. Okay, I'm making sure that, here we go, that we are on course. Hold on just a second. Now I have to go back to there we go. Okay, so the second step, the step that we're going to talk about today, is prepping. Yesterday we talked about planning. And if you want to succeed in preparing healthy, easy meals for you, your family, whoever you're preparing them for, and make it sustainable financially and emotionally, right? Being able to put in the time and effort and the dedication to it, then you have to separate out these 3 steps that we're talking about. And I'm going to share with you some deeper steps that I share with my students in the Family Meals Made Easy course. And I'm really excited to share these with you because I really feel like they're going to make the difference between feeling really frustrated that you don't have something made and reaching for convenience, and enjoying sitting down with your family at the dinner table, connecting with your food and connecting with people that you love. Those really are the reasons why, besides that our body needs nourishment, if we just needed food, then it would be okay to just eat whenever, eat whatever, right? But that's not the case. We're not rats. We have this connection to food. I'm thinking of, and you can laugh at me because it's totally funny, I'm thinking of Ratatouille because we're a total Disney family. So I'm going to sneeze. Pardon me if I do in advance. Please forgive me for my sniffling. Okay, so we're going to talk about prepping tomorrow. So yesterday we talked about planning. Today we're talking about prepping. Tomorrow we're talking about performing. Okay, the 3 Ps. Prepping is not planning. So when you sit down to plan your meals and you feel like this takes you forever, it really only takes a fraction of the amount of time in comparison to the amount of time it would take you to stand at the fridge, to try and find something else to cook, and the amount of stress that you would go through when you're not planning and prepping is something that we all want to do away with, right? We just don't want to experience, and we don't need to either. So we have to understand that there are certain steps we need to take in order to make this a strong framework, which we also talked about yesterday. And we're still going to talk about that today because this is part of that framework. It's really the 80-20 rules of meal planning. This is one piece of it, right? We talked, yesterday about those rules and something and how we make those rules work for us. So how we remove resistance, how we increase our commitment, our motivation, and the sustainability to keep going even when it gets hard. This is one way that we do that. Okay, so we use one meal to prep many. And I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir. You probably have heard of this already, but please bear with me if you haven't. Okay, the power of prepping creates intention, which we talked about yesterday. When you are sitting down and planning your meals, and then with each meal, right, I'm going to go back to this. With each meal, you are preparing another one. That really opens up a whole world of time for you and a whole world of food, and knowing that you don't have to do it all by yourself. So it creates connection, not just with the food, but with your family, because they can contribute. If it's just you, you are connecting with your food and anybody who's joining you, because we've talked about this before too. Food is part of our cultural tradition. It's part of how we connect with people. It's one more piece of the puzzle to a really fulfilling life. And we're not going to take that away. We can't take that away. In fact, it is the number one factor that seniors or aging people find makes a difference more than any other healthy habit, is regular connection with people they love. It helps reduce symptoms and causes of dementia, Alzheimer's. It helps to prevent early death and promote self-care. Those things are really, really important to us now more than ever. And so that's connection. And then the power of prepping also produces a reduction in resistance, right? I'm going to say this over and over and over again. It's not really how big your path is and how fast you get there. It is how clear it is and how easy it is to move forward. And when we can reduce resistance, then that makes moving forward less difficult, right? Removes that difficulty. And so then automatically we are more likely to move forward. We are more likely to follow through. We are more likely to reach those goals that we're working towards. So that's really, really important. Okay, so in my Family Meals Made Easy course, I talk about this a lot. And prepping is covered in planning. And then we have the cook and serve steps, and then we have the close step. So all of those steps are really important. I believe I put the wrong information in here. So planning and preparing, they are combined in my course, but they are two separate steps. Really, really important to understand that we need to plan before we can prepare. And they also work together. Then comes cook and serve, and then close. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is my Family Meals Made Easy framework. And I'll give you just a minute to look over it. So we have our our prepare, we're talking about using things that we already have. Instead of thinking that we constantly need to prepare new things for a meal, then we build our A team so that they can contribute and we feel supported, right? And vice versa. Then we plan our recipes and assignments. And when we can delegate the things that others can contribute to, that we don't have to do ourselves, it frees up so much time. And that's exactly what I wanted to cover today. And one of those pieces is, bless you, is this right here: cook once, eat thrice. Okay, so we are preparing for each meal during the meal before, or a meal before. Okay, so I hope you took a look at this. We go over this in detail in my Family Meals Made Easy course, and it makes for a really simple routine for you, whether you are a do-it-all on your own, living on your own, or if you're living with someone else, if you have children or if you do not. These steps can be followed by everyone, regardless of your family circumstances, or regardless of, yes, your family circumstances. And making sure that you have a supportive group, no matter where you go. Okay, so all these steps are really important. But right now, we're just going to talk about the prepping, because that's what you're working on this week. And prepping makes meals sustainable and realistic. Okay, you are more likely to reach your goals, like we talked about with the reducing resistance. You're allowed to make mistakes, because some people have said that they feel like when they make a mistake that they have fallen off the wagon and they can't get back up again, that they see themselves as that mistake. And here we just say, okay, I made a mistake, but I'm going to make sure to keep following through with my goals, because this is something that I want to do. It's important to me, and I know that I can do it. So then we develop these healthy habits instead of a roller coaster ride. And it makes it so much more real when it comes to actually achieving those goals. And in Family Meals Made Easy, we talk about building your A team. And we've talked about this before, because you are not a one-woman band, okay? You do not have to do this all on your own. I have read a book, I'm reading a book called Option B by Sheryl Sandberg. I think that's her name, and talks about grief. And that's not what we're talking about right now. But we are talking about the necessity of asking for help and making sure that we answer our own call if it's possible. And then we reach out to others for support, because we can't do it all alone. Healthy habits, healthy meals, healthy anything, a healthy lifestyle does not mean deprivation or doing it all by yourself, right? It doesn't mean that you have to isolate yourself from your kids, from your family. Sorry, I have something in my eye. In order for you to be healthy, in order for you to live that lifestyle that you want to live. I am so sorry. Okay. And creating a supportive environment is one of the most important things you can do as you develop these healthy habits, right? Because the framework, like we talked about yesterday, the framework is what helps you to maintain that supportive environment. It means that you belong to a group that supports you and allows you to contribute. And that's what your family wants to do as well. That's what anyone who is around you, who's a part of your life, wants to do. They want to both support you and feel supported. And you want to support them and feel supported by them. So this is the natural law of reciprocity. And the need for connection and contribution. So this has been a short webinar, but I want to give you a call to action today. Today, your call to action is in this right here, and I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen. Okay, let's see. There we go. So make sure you have printed off your perfect meal plan cheat sheet. Okay, in this cheat sheet, I know I totally feel like an old woman when I lick my finger, but it's the only way I can move the paper. Yesterday, you should have done this right here. Planned your meals right here. What you already have, if it's fresh or frozen, and then the method in which you are going to cook it, and then you can make a grocery list from that, right? If you have a meal planned out and you say, well, I have this, but I don't have that, then you don't have to buy extra things. Then you can write down your meals for the week. You can write down whether or not you have a recipe. Okay. And today, I want you to do this. Who does what? We're going to talk about what you have prepared. So you have your recipes, your meal plans down on your previous worksheet. Then you know then what you're going to cook, how you're going to cook, what method is best, right? And then serving means where you're going to do it, who's going to serve it, right? Are you going to give your kids a chance to serve or to cook? Are you going to order out today? Are you going to do it all, or are you going to let someone help you? This will be the difference, right? So serving allows you to create an assignment list for who can do what. So for example, in our family, someone has the job of emptying the dishwasher every day. That's not my job because it doesn't require my personality. There are other things that require my personality, and so those are important for me to do. But what doesn't require my personality, somebody else can do. And so they empty the dishwasher, and in the process, they set the table. Now, somebody who does that does not have to cook. So we alternate jobs. And the person who cooks also helps to put food away so that I'm not the only one cleaning up the kitchen. So my husband is not the only one cleaning up the kitchen. Because if we are working together, then we can do every step together. It's not just that we're sitting down together as a family, it's that everybody can contribute to making it happen from start to finish. And finish doesn't mean when everybody is done eating. Finish means when you are done in the kitchen and you can leave knowing that you don't have to come back, that it's clean and done, and that you now can take that time to focus your efforts on continuing building those relationships, that connection that you've made during the meal. It's really, really important. And Natasha says a strong framework, right? And yes, it's exactly right. Like, this helps to instill healthy habits in yourself and in your family. I'm working with a nonprofit as a volunteer nutritionist, and I love it. It's so great because I get to see just how long-lasting these small benefits, these small choices that people can make, the difference that it makes in their lives. And then, you know, today someone told me it often takes 3 generations. So it takes one person learning the concept, then it takes another person the application of the concept, and it takes the next generation after that the applying that concept consistently to make it a habit where they feel like it's a regular part of their life rather than feeling like they're a little strange for incorporating something new. And that's how everyone's going to feel when they start a new system like this, right? So I want you to feel competent and resilient, because you're going to make mistakes and it's totally fine. You're going to see that there are so many improvements you want to make. You might be overwhelming yourself. But I'm here to tell you right now that every little step you take towards eating healthier and developing these healthy habits will not only affect you, it will not only influence you, it will influence those that you teach, those you serve, those you have stewardship over, because your actions will speak louder than words. And when you can live a long and happy life, it will be magnified. Your joy will be magnified by the long and healthy life you're helping others to live too, and to be successful in whatever endeavor they choose. So that is my soapbox talk for today. I hope it's been enjoyable for you. And tomorrow is our last day of the challenge. I am going to send out an email, just one email, with all 3 steps in that email. And I apologize, that might feel overwhelming, but I want to make sure that I get you all 3 steps. So tomorrow I'm going to do the last step and share with you a bonus that I have. So you won't want to miss it. Please join me tomorrow at 2. I promise the broadcast, I've got the technology figured out now. I promise I will be on time and I will be here ready to deliver the things that you have told me that you most want to have. So I'm going to share with you how to step up, how to perform, and how to really put these steps, the planning, the prepping, and the performing into practice to create those consistent, actionable steps to get the results that you want, so that you are living with more energy, less overwhelm, better productivity, and deeper relationships. And bonuses after that will be that you feel better in your own skin, right? That you get to let go of unwanted weight because you know what you want and you know how to get it. And that's what I'm so excited to talk with you about tomorrow. And I really appreciate the comments. If you're watching the replay, please put #replay so I can go in and comment as well, so that we can continue this discussion. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. And I hope you make it a great day, because it is what you make it. So go win the day, my friend, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.